Hi everybody, Alex Deployer from Expert Forex, and I hope this video gives you lots of money-making Forex trading ideas. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at the fact that all MT4 Forex brokers have different details on all of their charts. Now, the implications of that are very important to Forex traders. What it basically means is that every time they run a Forex robot that relies on indicators, they will not be able to achieve the same results that they should based on the testing or the set files that have been supplied to them. And all of this will become a lot clearer. But essentially, you will be amazed how different the candles are on the various brokers that use the MT4 platform. And let's have a look at that. So yesterday I had a webinar which was recorded about the Make Money EA, and in it I stressed the importance that users of that EA need to trade it for 3 to 4 weeks on a demo account before going live. And a lot of people were quite surprised. They said, why? It's a tested EA, the settings are there, why do I need that? And after you've watched this video, you'll understand exactly what I mean, because every broker will be responding differently to that particular EA. So what I did was I loaded 3 broker accounts into my one computer and ran them concurrently. So I used Charter Prime, Pepperstone, and IG were the 3 brokers. I loaded the pound yen as the main currency, and I loaded the ADX indicator, the one that we use for the Make Money EA. And let's just look at what those charts look like. And you can see I've tried to make them as similar as possible. But just looking at the ADX indicator, you can actually see the format is considerably different from broker to broker. What I've also done is I've done 3 reference lines, and I've taken the readings on those reference lines, and I'll show those differences to you. But you can actually see, if you look at my cursor there, the 2 peaks go down in this one, the 2 peaks are even in this one, and then the 2 peaks go up in this one. So it's completely different. During this one, most of it stays below the 30 line. Here, a considerable amount of it stays above the 30 line, and here we've got a mixture of amounts that stay above and below the 30 line. So the whole format is considerably different. So these are running the same EA, the Make Money EA. So they will be responding differently. You'll get transactions happening on one broker account and that are not happening on another broker account because of these differences. And we're going to look at why these differences are in fact in place. Okay, so I've summarized the differences, and firstly, as you can see, there are different GTM server times for the 3 brokers that I'm looking at. So each one has a different server time. Now, the implications of that is that the cutoff times for the various candles, especially the 4-hour candles, would be different. So that's the one difference that came out of this. The other difference, which was quite amazing, which I didn't expect, was there's quite a bit of a difference in the prices. You can see there's up to a whole pip of difference between the prices from the highest price to the lowest price. Quite disappointing. I actually thought they would be a lot closer. Then those 3 reference lines that I drew, you can see the vast differences in the readings. The ADX had a reading of 60 in the one and then 53 in the other. Here we see a 41 and a 30 reading, and here we see a 10 reading and a 20 reading. So the readings are vast. Sometimes the readings are double what the other one is. So it is really quite a concern that the ADX in particular, and it applies to a lot more indicators, but the ADX shows this quite clearly, that how different the indicators appear to be on the different broker accounts. And as I said earlier, the EA will just be responding to these different formats and trading on a totally different basis. Okay, so now just a little bit of information. If you want to find out what time your broker server is, you just go to the Market Watch and you'll see a time on the Market Watch there, and that will tell you what your broker server time is. And then all you do is you Google GMT now, and it'll tell you what the GMT time is, and if it's the same, then obviously the broker is using GMT. If it's slightly different, you can then say it's either GMT +1 or 3 or so on. So a little tip there. Okay, so then I had a look at the actual candle formations, and on your screen you can see the current running format of the candles. You can see they almost unrecognizable. You cannot recognize that in fact is trading the same currency on the same time frame, and the candles are looking totally different. Totally different. You will never say that that's the same currency. So again, the implications of different broker times come in quite strongly. But there's another thing that causes these differences, and we're going to look at that next. So because of the different server times, there are also differences in the times when the brokers cut off on the Friday afternoon when the market closes and opens on the Monday morning when the market starts trading again. Some brokers open different times and close at different times. And the problem is it's not related to the server times. So if you look at this little table that I've got here, you can see that the GMT closed off on the 22nd hour and opened on the 22nd hour, which is good. That's the way it should be. But if that's GMT and this is GMT +3, then there's only a 2-hour difference between those two. So it shows you the broker closing on a Friday and opening on the Monday has got nothing to do with the server time. So that's another variable that causes these extreme candle differences. And again on the screen, I've marked the opening candles and the closing candles for the various brokers, and you can again see that it's almost like looking at different currencies when you look at those particular charts. Now, what this means is that if your EA is using an indicator like the ADX, it is going to be seeing different signals from that particular indicator. And it's going to be doing that for the life of the time that you're trading it. And that is why you could be sitting next to another trader, and that trader can experience 3 trades and your EA will experience no trades, because the indicator could be completely different if you are using different brokers. So the conclusion is it is quite dangerous to share set files that have been created by different brokers, and you need to do that with caution. It's not necessarily dangerous, just don't expect the same results. If the set files was prepared on a broker using GMT and your broker's GMT +3, there's a big chance that it'll be different. If your broker's GMT and the set files were prepared on GMT, there's still a chance that there will be a difference, because the two brokers might have different cutoffs on the Friday and the start on the Monday. So that could cause different candle formations again. So it's quite a complicated area, and this really affects Forex robot traders more than manual traders that are only trading one broker at a time. They're really not affected at all. It's only the users of set files that are affected by this. Now again, you're not affected by this if you are creating your own set files. If you are doing your own optimization and you're creating your set files on your own broker, then you're not affected, because that's the broker you're going to be using to trade, so your set files will be applicable to those. It's only if you sharing using set files that have been prepared on other broker accounts or that are totally different to your broker. But now the good news is some systems aren't affected by this. For instance, the grid trend multiplier doesn't use indicators, so it is unaffected by that because it uses a grid system to trade. The time of day hedged EA is another EA that's not affected by something like this because it doesn't use indicators. So it's only really EAs that use indicators that are affected by this particular situation. So this explains why when you try and duplicate optimized settings, you cannot duplicate the results because your broker could be completely different in terms of the setup that they use to the set file, the broker that we use to create the set files. That's one reason. It's also a reason why when you take the set file and you plug it into your broker that you might not be getting the results that you want to achieve. So the objective of today's video was just to make you aware of these differences, and if you are an EA trader and you do use set files, they bring so many limitations into the use of set files. They explain why you cannot get the same results as, for instance, your supplier's set file or your friend's set file that he gives you. On the other hand, you might be getting better results using that set file. It can go both ways and can get better or worse, but there will be a difference if you are not using the identical broker. Thanks for watching this video. If you've liked it, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe and click the bell. But most importantly, share this video. You can do this in many ways. Message your friends, send them emails, or share it on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, and those kind of places. So from me, Alex Aploy, cheerio.